Best Practices in Teaching English is a series of teacher training segments dealing with 8 topics: classroom management, writing, reading, listening, presentation skills, practice, error correction, and supervision. Best Practices in Teaching English can be used for teacher and supervisor in-service training or by faculty in pre-service teacher education. Also, tapes can be used separately by student teachers, and supervisors for individual study and self-development. Accompanying the video series is a set of printed supplementary materials that describes the content and includes information on how to use the videotapes. Thinking, then writing.
In the traditional writing class, the teacher writes a topic on the board and asks the students to write on it. At the end of the session, the teacher collects the compositions and takes them home to mark. When marking them, the teacher spends a lot of time over every single language error. When the teacher gives them back to the students, all they do is just glance at the grade and put the paper aside, not looking at any of the marking done. In a good writing class, writing should be taught for real communication. The teacher should give the students a reason why they are writing on the assigned topic. Later on, when they start writing, they feel they are writing to a real audience because they get feedback from their peers, their classmates. In this way, the teacher can enhance student interaction and enjoyment. In addition, the most effective way to teach writing is as a process. It's a slow activity taking students through the different stages of writing, helping them generate ideas, select and arrange these ideas, and finally revise them. Now we're going to see Mr. Ashraf Mustafa taking his students through the different stages of the writing class.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Ashraf.
Thank you. Sit down.
Thank you.
How are you today? Fine?
Fine.
Good. First, today I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been abroad? Has anyone here ever been abroad? Outside Egypt? Amira, you have ever been abroad? Jordan. Yeah, thank you. Yes, Basant, have you ever been abroad?
Yes.
Where?
Canada.
Canada.
Yes.
She has been to?
Canada.
Thank you, Sidan. So, I want to ask you now, do you all like trips?
Yes.
You all like trips? You all like going out?
Yes.
Egypt? To see wonderful places?
Yes.
Right. So now imagine that you are going on a trip. Where would you like to go? Where would you like to go? Hadid, stand up please. Where would you like to go?
France. France.
Yeah, thank you. Where would you like to go? Nada?
I want to go Britain.
Britain. Thank you. Who else? Rana.
Netherlands.
Where would you like to go? Netherlands. Thank you. Hadid.
I want to go to Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Thank you. For those, let's say, for those who chose Britain, who chose Britain here? Oh, Heba and Nada. Heba, stand up please. What do you think you're going to do when you go to Britain?
I want to going to work with some. I'm going to have friends, and to play with them.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes, what else can you do in England?
First, I will study.
You want to study?
Study, yes. and I want to visit everything there.
Okay, so there are certain places you'd like to visit, like
Big Ben.
Big Ben. Thank you. For those who chose France, let's say France, where do you like to go in France? What places would you like to visit there and see? Susan?
See Louvre Museum.
Yeah.
And the people, and to have some friends and study there.
Thank you. So now, while you are on a trip, while you are outside Egypt, sometimes you are alone, other times you are with your friends or your family. When you are abroad and you want to be in touch with your family or with your friends, what do you think you are going to do? You want to be in touch with them, to tell them your news. What happens to you? What are you going to do? You are abroad, and what are you going to do? Angie?
We'll write to them a letter.
A letter. Thank you. What else can we do? Alia?
To speak with them in the net.
Net. You use the net. Very good. Thank you. What else? Yes, Dunya?
If I can phone them.
You can phone them. Great. Thank you. What else? Yara?
Send them a postcard.
To send them a postcard. Great. So today let's concentrate and talk about one of these methods that we can use to get in touch with our friends.
We started with topic elicitation, approaching the topic from a distance, and got the students to produce the word postcard themselves. He thus helped them to see the topic in context.
Can you all see it?
Yes.
Good. I'll tell you something about one of my friends. He likes going abroad and on trips. While now he is abroad, and he sent me this postcard. My friend says, "Dear Ashraf, I'm visiting a very nice place. I have a lot of fun in here. We went to the Great Wall yesterday. It was lovely. I bought some electronic equipment. They were very cheap, and I got you a calculator. I enjoy their food, especially rice, which is popular, and I like the way they eat it. What's noticeable here is that people are very sure. I wish you can visit this place. Love, Adham." His name is Adham. Yes. Can you know, and so can you guess, where is he now? Yeah. Where is he? Yes, Adia?
In China.
China. Yeah. How do you know that he's in China?
Because the equipment of China is very cheap and we visit the Great Wall.
Yeah. Can you tell me, please, how did he start his postcard? How did he start the postcard? Alia?
By Dear Ashraf.
He said, "Dear Ashraf." Thank you. And how did he end it? How did he end it? Soha.
Love Adam.
Love Adham. Thank you. Do you think that, thank you, Soha. Do you think he's a close friend of mine, or that we don't know each other? Bassam?
A close friend.
A close friend, because he said,
Love Adam.
yeah, thank you. And I want you to think about the tenses he used here. What tenses did he use here? Hala, what tenses did he use here?
Past simple tense.
Oh, okay. Can you give me an example?
I put to the Great. We went to the Great Wall yesterday.
Yeah, thank you. We went to the Great Wall yesterday. Do you want to say something about that?
The tense.
The tense, according to the past simple?
No, present continuous.
Present continuous tense. What the present continuous tense is used here?
A very nice place.
I'm visiting a very nice place. Thank you.
After topic elicitation, and before the students are ready to write, he prepared them through a reading given to them to focus them on both the ideas and the language. They looked at the tenses and appropriate vocabulary and structures.
Yes, yes.
It's happened, but still happening now.
I'm visiting a very nice place. Yes, it's on. Yes, an action is on. Thank you. And what about the past simple tense, which he said we went to the Great Wall? Is this action on or finished? Finished. Right. Now, I want you to work alone. You are going to write some ideas comes to your mind when you are writing a postcard. Like, what ideas can you come to your mind from here? You can give me an example from the ideas when we read this postcard. Fatma?
Places.
Good. So now we are going to write some ideas. Thank you. We are going to write some ideas like places and other things when we have a postcard. You start now. Ideas.
It's important to use this reading as a springboard, an aid, and not a model to copy or imitate.
Now bring it down, please. Bring it down. Now please, have you all finished? Yes. Right. In 1 minute, you and the person sitting next to you, you check the ideas together, and you can add to your ideas. Okay? You check it together. 1 minute.
Students should be ready to write the first draft, either individually or in groups. They should start with a rough draft of their composition, focusing on the content, the ideas, and not worrying too much about mistakes at this stage.
Okay, thank you. You have checked your what you have written together? Yes. Great. So now we have a lot of ideas about the postcard, right? Who can give me some ideas we can write about the postcard here? Sally.
Weather.
Thank you. Weather.
People.
Thank you. Good.
Civilization.
Thank you. Good. What else?
Shopping.
Thank you. Good. Shopping. What else? Nada?
Places.
Places. What else? Marwa?
Museum.
Museums. Thank you. Good, Marwa. This is good. Here, so we have a lot of ideas we can write in our postcard. What we're going to do now is that we're going to work in groups. I'm going to give each group a postcard to write about. But first, what I want you to do is that in each group, each one is going to write 2 sentences, 2 simple sentences about the place in the postcard you have. You got the idea? Yes. Then we are going to write in groups. Okay? So we have 2 minutes after when we get this postcard to write in our notebooks about this. You got the idea now?
Yes.
Right. So what are we going to write now?
Postcard.
How many sentences? 2 sentences. Yes, each one is going to work alone. Right. We have 2 minutes to do this. Now bends down, because just we are writing just 2 sentences. Each one is writing 2 sentences. Please, now we are going to work in groups. These groups of 4. You have already your postcard. I'm going to give you cards. I'll give you a red card. This will be for the presenter. Yes. And you are having also the green card. This will be for the manager. Then you have the secretary is the one who's going to take notes. Also you have the yellow card for the timekeeper, the one who keeps time. Now I'm going to give you cards in groups. Now each group has a postcard like this, right? In the first draft, you're writing a description for the place and other ideas that we discussed here about these people. You're having 10 minutes to do this. Okay? So what are we going to write now? Postcard. About the place you're having here. How much time are we going to take? 10 minutes. Are we going to write in this postcard? No. So we are going to write in our notebooks. Yes. So now, do you want this now? No. Okay, I can have it and you can start. Go on. Okay. Yes, you can see. Right. Yes.
When the students have produced a first draft, they can move to the editing stage. First, they are given the chance for self-correction. This should be selective, focusing on one language area at a time.
Now please, pins down. Pins down. You are finished? Yes. Right, this is good. And now, after we finish this was the first step. As I told you before that, you do not have to worry too much about this. Now we're going to write the second draft. But please, first you have 2 minutes in groups again. You have 2 minutes to check what you have written, to check the sentences and the verbs. So you have 2 minutes to do this. Okay, go on.
After self-correction, students should be ready to get feedback from each other to share in the learning process. They now start to think of their compositions as directed to a real audience, their peers, rather than the teacher as a figure of authority. This also helps them focus on how to communicate to real people, other than the obsessive fear of the teacher's red marks. Sharing with peers also helps the students learn from each other, rather than regard the teacher and the book as the only sources of knowledge.
Now, yep. May I have your attention, please? You have finished checking your tenses? Right. And now I would like you to rewrite what you have written in your first draft here in the color card. I want you to rewrite it in good handwriting and good English too, right? Okay, you have 5 minutes to do this. So what are we going to write now? We're going to write the postcard in the color card, right? How much time do we have? 5 minutes. Yes, so go ahead. Make sure that the handwriting is big handwriting. Yes, I'm coming. The bigger you handwriting is. Dear only dear, then you put like this. No. You try to shorten it. Can you see this? You put comma and not When you say dear, do you have a corrector to make this? You put comma. Yes. Now please, pins down. Pens down. Okay, good. Heba, pens down, please. You all finished?
Yes.
Good. And now, let's enjoy your wonderful postcards. So, let's first begin with this group. Who's the presenter here? Basan? Yes, come on, Basan here. Would you read your postcard to the groups?
Dear Angie, how are you, our love? We miss you so much. Here in this town, oh, places are wonderful. It's had and interesting places. We visited the Great Palace yesterday. It's bigger than we expected it. Tomorrow we will going to visit the big church. People here are so practical. They are beautiful, but they are firm. This town is very big and the weather is cold. Oh, we are freezing here. We feel homesick to turn back to you, our love. Love your friends, Husi and Kusha, Suzy and Hadun.
This is good. Actually, I enjoyed it. You know which country and the place they are in? Who knows the place they are in? Who can guess? Big church. Yes. Alia, you know? Where are they?
Moscow.
They are in Moscow. How do you know that they are in Moscow?
It's a big town, and the people are practice and all time on work, and it has a big church.
You all agree with Alia that it's Moscow, or do you have another idea? Sit down. Thank you, Alia. Yes, Heba?
Because Basan said there are freezing here.
Yeah, freezing.
So it's Moscow, so the temperature there is below zero.
Oh, yeah, thank you. So you all agree that it's Moscow?
Yes.
Does anyone here have another idea?
No.
No. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Basan. And now let's hear from this group. And who's the presenter here? Fatma. Come here, Fatma. Nice postcard.
Dear Clara, here I am in a very wonderful place. I have many friends. I went with my friends to Curved Pizza Tower and at Pizza, the tourist guide said that it is from the 7 wonders in the world. And he said that there are famous cities which called Vatican and Venice that have the Rialto Bridge. They like to eat pasta and pizza. The people here have tall nose and fair hair. I was spending here 10 days and I really don't feel homesick. Love Box.
Thank you. Yes. Who knows that? Which country is this? Yes, someone?
Italy, because they.
You think it's Italy first? Yes, do you agree with her that it's Italy? Yes. Does anyone here has another idea? Ella? Italy? How did you know that it's Italy? Ella?
Pizza Tower.
Pizza Tower. Thank you. What else, Summer?
Because they eat pizza and.
Thank you. Pizza is good. What else? Khulud.
From the 7 wonders of the world.
Good. Thank you, Khulud. Thank you for Fatma. That was great. Now I want you to give me I'm going to collect your postcards to enjoy reading them at home. I'd like to mark them, and tomorrow, inshallah, you will find them put in the wall outside, because tomorrow morning you can read them outside the class. Okay? Thank you very much.
After such peer correction, and when the students have written their best drafts, the teacher can collect these to mark and grade. Then, he can select the best 2 or 3 to put on the wall for the next 2 classes, or he can publish them in the class magazine. That was a great class, don't you think? As we have just seen, Ashraf has taken the students through the different stages of the writing class. The teacher starts with topic elicitation, trying to help the students select the topic and see it in context. This is followed by brainstorming and reading in order to collect ideas. When the students have written in pairs or groups, they can start revising their compositions. The teacher starts with self-correction, helping the students to look at their compositions, focusing on one area at a time. This can be followed by peer feedback, the feedback they receive from their classmates. Such feedback helps the students and the teacher in avoiding a lot of correction, which looks ugly to the students as it's all read, and it minimizes the teacher's marking load. When the teacher marks the compositions at the end, he can mark them focusing on one area at a time, thus making learning most effective. Finally, the students can share their compositions if they see them published in a class magazine. In this way, writing can be seen as a continuous process of writing and rewriting. Student involvement is thus maximized through the different stages of writing, self-correction, and peer feedback. Such stages lessen the teacher's marking load and help the learners learn from each other. Additionally, by designing communicative tasks, the teacher can maximize the students' involvement and sense of audience, which help them a lot when they start writing outside the classroom for a real audience.
When I show my students the postcard that I got for them, when I mentioned the name Adham, they laughed and or smiled. And this is because of Adham is the name of my dear son. He's a very little child, is about 6 months. And in return, I do this to show my students to make a rapport between me and my students, to have friendship, and also to create some sort of fun inside the classroom. And in return, also my students, when they wrote their postcard, they addressed it to some persons who were absent in the classroom, like May, when they send a postcard to May. And also when they signed the postcard, they give themselves funny names like Hankosha for Hind, or Pusi for Pesant, Haddora for Hadir, something like this. I asked my students to write in groups, and I think writing in groups gives them many advantages. First, to exchange ideas with each other, as I asked them first before writing in groups to each one to write 2 sentences separately. Then when they write in groups, they change their ideas. Secondly, to make a cooperation and to teach them how to cooperate together. Thirdly, I want them to be responsible, everyone to be responsible for his own work. Number 4 is that writing in groups is safe for students. Sometimes in the classroom, especially in writing, I may face some challenges and problems with students. One of these is like, some students do not want to write. I go to them, try to encourage them to write, and try to give them a hint, a word or two, and then they complete the sentence. This way they have self-confidence and they go away and write. Other challenge is that sometimes students do not have any idea about the topic I'm giving to them. Like in the lesson, when I gave them the postcards, one of the groups had Moscow and they didn't know anything about Moscow. I encouraged them to talk about general ideas. What did they do at that time? They began to recall from their memories what they see in the TV and how cold is Moscow, and they began to write from memory some general ideas, not specific places or specific habits or customs for people. And this was good for them.